So the video I'm gonna do today is basically what everybody's been asking me, and that's what do I eat? My diet. I don't like to call it a diet. I just call it, a lifestyle change. I've changed my eating habits. So first thing I want to say is I'm definitely not doing keto. I congratulate anybody who can do keto and be successful, but it's a little bit too strict for me, and I just not for me. Um, what I'm doing is a low carb protein diet. I don't do when I first started. I did not do no more than 20 grams of carbs a day. Now that I've lost the weight, I stick to 25 carbs a day, 25 grams of carbs a day, and I'm pretty comfortable with that. Coming from eating like hundreds and hundreds of carbs a day, when I did 20, I could see why I lost 30 pounds in the first month. And I honestly, I dropped it really fast. But of course, when you're bigger, you're going to lose the weight faster than, an average person. Now, most people ask me, they say they're scared, or they tell me they're scared to diet because they feel like they're going to feel hungry. And I'm not going to lie, in the beginning, I was hungry. I was hungry. When you think about you eating 4 and 5, 6,000 calories a day, and you cut it down to whatever my app, my Fitness Pal was telling me, like 2,000, I was hungry. But it's really, I always tell people it's a mental thing. You can really do it if you set your mind to it. I always recommend that when I started fasting, because like I said, I started with 12 hours. When I started fasting, I would like have a piece of gum. Now, technically, that's cheating because gum has calories and sugar-free gum has 2 grams of carbs. So, I would have a piece of gum and I would drink water. I also recommend that I have 2 big meals a day, which is breakfast and dinner. I get off of work about 7:30, and I try to eat before 8 o'clock, so I'm like rushing to eat. So I have that big meal, but what you have to think about is you're going to be asleep through most of that fasting time. So you're not going to really be thinking about it as your body is fully digesting your meal. So I would just say make sure you eat a nice sized nutritious meal before you go to bed. Also, next topic, cost. So I learned that, eating healthy is going to put a little dent in your pocket because you got to think about it. You're not going to McDonald's and getting $1 cheeseburger. You're sitting at home and you're cooking chicken, or you're cooking this, or you're cooking that, and you got to spend the money to do it. But I think the reward is way better than the cost that you have to spend for it, I would say. So getting into the actual food that I eat, meat wise, you can really kind of eat anything, I would say. I eat a lot of chicken, a lot of grilled chicken, baked chicken. My girlfriend actually just bought me an air fryer, so I'm starting to, air fry my chicken now because I do miss fried chicken. But the thing is, you can't put any bread in because that's the carbs. But I just put the chicken in the air fryer and to give me a little, a little more flavor and a little crunch. Salmon, I never cooked salmon before, and then I learned to cook it in the oven, and I'm a salmon girl. I love salmon. Chicken and salmon are very, very high in protein. That can get you to your daily protein goal quick. My protein goal I think is 100 grams, or it's like right there at 100 what my Fitness Pal put, which is pretty easy to do. Say I eat like 2 pieces of salmon, that's about 44 grams of protein. So that gets you halfway there. Tuna is very high in protein. I love tuna. Chicken is very high in protein. I also eat turkey burgers. Love them. A thing of turkey burgers, I eat like two. It has like 2 grams of carbs, so that's about 4 grams of carbs to my 25 that I eat a day. Love turkey burgers. I have like the ground turkey if I want to have like a taco salad, but I use turkey meat. I don't eat much pork just because I don't have a desire to eat pork like that. But I'm sure pork has, it's probably high in fat, but I don't think it has, carbs. Most meat don't have carbs. If I have beef, it's going to be lean beef because beef can have a lot of fat. So I try to get the leaner type beef if I do eat beef. But usually if you catch me making dinner, I'm eating chicken, salmon, turkey burgers, or I'm just eating some tuna or something like that. Some shrimp. I have some shrimp. So vegetables. I had to do research on what vegetables are low in carbs and which vegetables are high in carbs. And it was very shocking to see the results. On a day, if you catch Essence eating vegetables, I'm eating broccoli, I'm eating cucumbers. I have kale. I love kale now that I make my own kale. That's usually what I eat. I don't really eat too much because I learned that like corn, potatoes, the really hot sweet potatoes, the real high starchy vegetables have a lot of carbs. Like a cup of corn can have 40 grams of carbs, and a potato can have 37 grams of carbs. So I would just recommend that you do your research on low carb vegetables so you know exactly what you can eat, because I can't think off the top of my head which ones were on the list. I think like Brussels sprouts, asparagus, all that type, but I haven't, tried with that yet. So I would do that. Fruits. I don't do fruits. A lot of them are high in natural sugars and as well as carbs. A banana has 27 grams of carbs. Mixed berries and berries are going to be the lower carbs, but they still have quite a bit. I think maybe like 10. So when you think about it, if you're only eating a cup of that, you're already halfway to what your carb goal is going to be. Not well, actually, let me rephrase that, because not saying everybody has to do 20-25 grams of carbs. Like I said, if you use that MyFitnessPal app, it will tell you how many carbs you can have a day. But I just choose, because I wanted to lose the weight faster for health reasons, to only do 20-25. So I want to rephrase that so nobody thinks they have to do that. So that's with the fruits. Like I said, research fruits and research low carb vegetables as well, so you'll know which ones you can go to and stick to, your carb intake. So I do no sweets. I immediately stop sweets. No Debbie cakes, no cookies, none of that. None of that. They're very high in carbs, very high in sugar. So what I do is so I don't totally slip off my diet, I do sugar-free Jello. Now they only come in two flavors, which is strawberry and orange, and I get the dollar packs that you can get at Food Lion or Walmart, and I love them. I've come to really love that sugar-free Jello, and I get sugar-free whipped topping that comes in a can in like the milk section, and that will be my snack for the night before bed. As my dessert, I usually have that. The sugar-free Jello has no carbs, and I love it. I think it has like maybe like 5 calories per to the snack pack. 5 calories. So I really love that, and it really helps me. When I have a sweet craving, because you're gonna have sweet cravings no matter what you do, no matter how long you're on a diet. I still struggle, so that really helps me get by. Also, they have different sauces. If you never paid attention to them, they have different sauces you can have. I have went to Walmart and looked in the sauces section. They have Heinz made ketchup, no sugar added ketchup, and believe it or not, it's not that bad. People think, oh, it ain't got no sugar in it, it's probably disgusting. No, the Heinz ketchup, no sugar, is actually pretty good. Make sure to get the no sugar added one, because they have another one that just says less sugar or something like that, but it still has, carbs and sugar. The no sugar, totally no sugar added, it's like a small bottle. I think it has maybe like 1 gram of carb per couple tablespoons, so that's pretty good. It's, I don't too much count the sauces as much as I do like the actual food. So also, Sweet Baby Ray's had came out with a no sugar barbecue sauce, and I love it, love it, love it, love it. I love to eat it on my turkey burgers to give it a little bit more flavor. Also, there's a guy, I think it's called G Hughes. He came out with a whole sugar-free barbecue sauce line, a whole sugar-free salad dressing line. So look into that as well, just for the little, for a little health tip there. Next is gonna be liquor. So believe it or not, people have gatherings. People wanna, get together and drink with their friends, but you got to be mindful when you're on a cutback that you can't have certain liquor. Brown liquor is very high in carbs, very high in sugar. I had to research what liquor had low carbs and no calories. So as far as I remember, the liquor that was low in calories and no carbs would be like vodka, rum, gin, tequila. It had, just straight. What really comes to pounding on the carbs, pounding on the calories, is going to be the mixers. So be mindful of what you mix. Like I use my sparkling waters that I showed in the last video, the Clear American sparkling waters, to give it a little flavor, because if you like me, I'm not finna just keep taking shots all night. I need something to mix with. So I use the my sparkling waters. They also, I seen online that they have diet cranberry sparkling, and it's pretty low in carbs as well. I haven't tried it yet, but that's a thought as well. Speaking of cranberry, juice. Don't do any juices. Very high in sugar, very high in carbs. I don't do any of that. They have the little sugar-free packets that you could put in water, and I get like the fruit punch flavor, lemonade flavor, and they have like 2 grams of carbs, 3 grams of carbs per packet. So that's pretty good if you if you want a juice flavor, but just be mindful that they do have at least 2 or 4 grams of carbs, so when you get ready to calculate your carbs, you know where you're at. Next, purging your cabinets. So it's always hard to stick to a diet when you have food in your house that you know you cannot have. So I always recommend that if you live by yourself, you take all that stuff that you cannot eat and you throw it out. Purge everything, just throw everything out, and you start fresh. Now with me, I don't live by myself, so it's a little bit harder when they're constantly bringing in the food and I see them. So I just always try to dismiss myself when they're eating it, because I'm still weak. But even though I've been doing this 7 months, I still get my weak moments. Or I'll just walk into my room, take my food, and just not think about it. But if you do live by yourself and you're able to, I would purge everything and rebuild all the stuff that you need to stay on your diet. That's the only thing you bring in the house. You don't go and get anything else. That's probably what's gonna be that really makes you successful, is getting all the bad shit out of your house and replacing it with good stuff. Also, you have to take accountability. And when I say that, I still cheat. I have days where I reward myself. Like once a month I'll have a Coke Zero or a Pepsi Zero once a month, or I have some cashews. And nuts aren't bad, but they're like, you have like 9 grams of carb per 28 pieces. And if you're like me, I love cashews. I'm not going to want to stop at 28 pieces. So I just, I treat myself maybe every month, and then, I take accountability for it. I put it in my app. My app might go off and say you went over your limit, but I work harder the next week to get it back off. If I do gain anything, I get it back off. If you do cheat off your diet and you go and have 4, 5, 6 cookies, yeah, you probably shouldn't did it, but just take accountability for it and log it, and just work harder the next day to not do it again. And that's the thing I want people to know, is there's going to be slip ups when you're trying to diet, because you're so used to eating what you want to eat. But just take accountability, move on, and work harder the next day. It's just, I don't know, that's just the easiest way I can tell people who want to start. It's going to be, slip ups, but you just got to keep pushing, and that's all I do. Find a good support system. My girlfriend is very supportive when it comes to me and my diet. Now, I don't tell her she has to eat what I eat. I would never do something like that. But if we're out to eat and she know I can't have it, they bring a thing of rolls. Like we went to Texas Roadhouse, they brought a thing of bread rolls, and I'm like, oh my God, bread is my weakness. She's like, she moved the bread rolls away from me and said you can't have none. So find somebody who truly supports you and wants to see you happy and wants to see you lose the weight, because I didn't have that in the beginning before I met her. People would just call me names, call me fat, tell me I need to lose weight, but nobody was seriously putting in the work with me, encouraging me to lose the weight. It was only me, myself, and I. So now when I look back at these people, I just laugh and be like, okay, yeah, you didn't want me to lose the weight. You didn't care nothing about me losing weight. But now you're under my pictures commenting, oh, you look wonderful. You look great. I'm sure I do. I know I do. But so like I said, just find somebody that really supports you and wants to see you happy. And I want to see anybody lose weight that really wants to lose it, regardless if you were 400 pounds, almost like me, or if you're 150 and you want to drop 10 pounds. I just want to see everybody, get healthy that really needs to get healthy. For breakfast, I have like turkey sausage, um, turkey bacon, and they have no carbs. I get like the bag of turkey sausage at Walmart in the frozen food section, frozen breakfast section. And turkey bacon, they have no carbs. It's like 25 calories for the. I get the lower sodium turkey bacon. It's like 25 calories per slice, and I think the serving size is 3. Eggs is really good for breakfast for your diet, but I'm not a big egg eater. I think they said that eggs are like, they're very high in protein for one, but I think it's like 0.5 carbs for an egg. But like I said, I don't really do eggs at all. So just make sure, like I said, the key to everything is MyFitnessPal. But just make sure, you're hitting your daily protein goal. No matter what, hit your protein goal. Protein is going to be the way. High protein, low carb. High protein, low carb. Protein is going to be the way to lose the weight. I would say don't do no more than 30 carbs a day. Regardless of what your app says, I would recommend don't do no more than 30. 20 to 25 is probably the better option, but don't do no more than 30. Do the research on low vegetables, and if you feel like you need fruit, do the research on low fruits. It's not a lot of fruits that are low, I'm gonna be honest, but if you feel the need to, do the research first. And that's going to be that for my meal planning. The next video is going to be strictly about workouts, what I do, what do I use to work out, all that type of stuff. This one is the one that everybody wanted to know, was about the meals. So hopefully this works out. And also look up some recipes. I love to look at recipes, check to see how many carbs they are. Now I do take some keto recipes and type them in MyFitnessPal, and I'll look to see how many exact carbs they have and everything like that. But I don't do full keto for sure. So that's a good thing. Looking up, there's Carb Manager, and they have like tons and tons of keto recipes you can look up. If you ever want to spice it up, you get tired of eating the same thing, you can do that. One other thing I meant to say, since I don't eat lunch at work, I for like a snack, I'll have these cheese sticks that I get from Walmart. Not the string cheese sticks, like sharp cheddar cheese, Colby. They have pepper jack. They have all different types. I'll have maybe like 3 of those. They have no carbs. They have like 80 calories per piece. I have turkey pepperoni versus sliced pepperoni, like regular pepperoni, because pepperoni has 14 grams of fat, and I think it has maybe like a carb or 2, versus turkey pepperoni, who has 7 grams of fat and no carbs. So I try to do that as a snack, as well as at Walmart and Food Line. They have these packets of ham and turkey that are like 40 cents. And for the 2-ounce pack, if you eat the whole pack, it's like 2 grams of carbs, 45 calories. So it's not bad. I usually eat that, and I still stay within my 20 to 25 grams of carbs a day. Also, one last thing. Sugar-free syrup. Now, I have to have something on my bacon and sausage, just a little something. So I put maybe like 2 tablespoons of sugar-free syrup, and that's only like 3 grams of carbs a day. But like I said, I don't get too analytical on the sauces, more so the meats and stuff like that. So with that being said, this is going to be the end of the food section. If you have any questions about certain, meats, certain vegetables that you couldn't find research, you can ask me. I'm glad to answer any questions. I just hope that this helps somebody, that really wants to do this, get on track, and that's all.